Welcome back everybody to the Golden Era Bookworm. Today I will be reviewing Your Physique 1945 October to November with Clarence Ross on the cover, and the title shows How I Developed My Physique by Mr. America. He was Mr. America in 1945. It's a pretty cool ad here. Now comes muscle power, and it's the first ad that I've seen in the Your Physique magazine, which was Joe Weider's first series of magazines. It's the first ad I've ever seen of muscle power, and here is the initial first edition, first volume, first issue of Muscle Power with what's his name? I forgot his name. What's his name? Jack LaLanne, I think, on the cover. And for many of you, you may know that this was a very famous Golden Era magazine, which would later become known as Muscle Builder or Muscle Builder Power, which was the most famous in that time, capturing the bodybuilding champions from the 1950s to the 1970s, so capturing people like Steve Reeves, Reg Park, Larry Scott, Sergio Oliva. You see the history of the Olympia, Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course, Franco Colombo, etc., etc. So this is the first ad I've ever seen on it, and that's pretty cool. In Joe Weider's editorial, Your Physique, here he claims that Your Physique has actually started a new hobby at the time for more radiant living through scientific and progressive weight training. Joe Weider claims at the 6th year of publication of Your Physique that it is supreme among all health and bodybuilding magazines. Joe Weider also introduces Muscle Power magazine, as I mentioned earlier, as a way of celebrating the 6th anniversary of the publication of Your Physique. And in a way, it's a gift to all his readers. Pretty cool. I can make you commando tough. I like this ad. It's by George F. Jowett, I think that's his name, advertising 5 courses. These were pretty famous at the time. How to develop a mighty chest, how to mold a mighty back, how to mold a mighty arm, how to mold a mighty grip, and how to mold mighty legs. The first article in this magazine is Fruit, Nature's Food and Medicine by Caleb T. Saunders. The author mentions that fruits are full of minerals, vitamins, fiber, and fructose, which provides energy, and that fruits cleanse poisons from the body. I think there's a lot of truth in that. Fructose nowadays is looked badly upon, but fruits do offer quite more than just fructose. There's a great photo here of Dan Lurie, most muscular man in America, advertising this photo offer. It's very, how to put it, the pose is very warrior-like in a way. It's pretty cool. A sound mind and a sound body is the next article, and the title comes from a 2,000-year-old Roman adage. 2,000 years, the old Romans knew the truth of this adage, mens sana in corpore sano. It means literally that men or humanity is healthy in a healthy body. It had been emphasized even before then and has been stressed by many writers since. yet its importance is even now not sufficiently appreciated. That was said in 1945, and I agree, even nowadays, the same adage goes. This is written by Dr. Hereward Carrington. Most men engaged in mental work neglect their bodies outrageously. On the other hand, many professional and amateur athletes grossly neglect their minds. So it's kind of a catch-22. Third paragraph talks about the dinosaurs, which were the most powerful fighting machines the world had ever known, yet they became extinct. Why? Because their brain power was so relatively insignificant. Well, this also goes to show historically how scientists and biologists viewed dinosaurs. Now, of course, we know that they were rather intelligent animals, but it does reflect the mentality of the past and the scientific opinion of dinosaurs. The author goes on to then discuss that a strong mind and intellect should go hand in hand. And of course then goes to advertise his new magazine, Reach, that teaches the intellect. He makes an outrageous claim at the end that if you don't benefit from it, the author will eat one of Joe Weider's barbell sets. That's pretty crazy. The next article, It's All Done by Mirrors, by Joe Weider, discusses that using the mirror one should look for weaknesses, the importance of posing, which is now neglected in today's bodybuilding competitions, but the importance of posing is to note our strengths but also our weaknesses, and discusses the importance of having a strong looking neck and the exercises to strengthen the trapezius and the sternocleidomastoid muscle, the muscles that are lateral to the neck. Finally, we come to Clarence Ross's Mr. America win in 1945. It's his first major trophy. He went on to become a famous golden era bodybuilder and a legend. This article tells his story and his first win, as I said, his first professional win, Mr. America 1945. Well, amateur win, because they didn't really give money back then. His measurements are also given here. A neck of 16 3/4 inches. There it is. A chest of almost 48 inches, biceps 17 3/8, waist 32, hips 38, thigh 25, calf 16, knee 15, wrist 7 5/8 of an inch, at a height of almost 5'10" and a body weight of 185 pounds. You can see him here in his most muscular pose, looking awesome. In his teens, he was rather sporty, playing baseball or track and field. He later started lifting weights at the age of 17, and in 1943, he won an odd lifts contest, including, where is it? I think it's over here somewhere. No, doesn't matter. Oh, it's on page 50. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, including the 2-arm curl, the abdominal raise, deep knee bend, which is the squat, deadlift, and prone press, which is otherwise known as the bench press. His strength records are also given. He could military press 240 pounds, snatch 200 pounds, clean and jerk almost 300 pounds. It's pretty awesome at a body weight of only 164 pounds. Going back. Posing for physique photos. This particular article gives tips on enhancing certain poses such as the side chest pose. It gives hints on enhancing the strong points and hiding the weak points, as well as the use of props. Importantly, it talks about one's expression, one's facial expression, which should be natural, not straining like so many bodybuilders do nowadays. The world's greatest lifts are low, which are listed here, of men such as Gorner, Sir, etc. And it also discusses the Willoughby table, presented in the April-May Your Physique issue in 1945. It's too much to read, so I won't bother. Toughen up your abdomen. Looks at exercises we all know for improving the abdominal musculature. The sit-up. The sit-up off a stool, which is basically like a Roman chair sit-up. Lifting yourself up from a chair, which is basically shown here in almost a V. Performing a hanging V, which is very difficult. Isometric holds while flattening your stomach. And vacuums, which are rarely performed nowadays. As well as advanced rolling of the abdominal muscles, which is actually a yogic practice called Nauli. These were all practiced in the golden era, and of course they're not practiced now. As you can see, bodybuilders with distended stomachs now. The Bodybuilder's Corner is another good article in this magazine by George Weaver. Here 2 photos of Sigmund Klein, a famous strongman from the early 1900s are shown. On one photo you can see Sigmund at the age of 25, and on this one, this is him at the age of 25, and the one on the left, he's age of 41, and it proves that through the practice of physical culture and with a good diet, the effect that it actually has on the human body in preserving youth, which is why so many people call physical culture or bodybuilding the fountain of youth. There's too many articles from this magazine to actually go through, so I'm actually going to have to split this video in 2. This is part A. So this is the last article I'll talk about, how to demonstrate your strength correctly. Harold Ansorge here talks about the technique of performing the bent press. This was an old-timer strength feat, not commonly practiced nowadays. It involves getting the weight to the shoulder first, and then straightening the weight from the shoulder and coming up from the squat position with the arm straightened. Anyway, I'll continue this revision of this magazine in a second video. So I hope you've enjoyed part A, and I'll come up with part B shortly.